Thanks for joining me. I am at a wedding reception in Raleigh, North Carolina at the Angus Barn. If you know Raleigh, then you know the Angus Barn. One of the long-standing fine restaurants in town. In fact, my wife and I came here after our wedding. That is the very day of our wedding. Before we went to our hotel, we had supper here. I'll never forget the waitress asking us when we said we had just gotten married. She said, "What are you doing here?" We said we were hungry. Anyway, painting as usual. Nice to be back in my native habitat. Painting in a tux tonight. Painting in a hello, Eric. Good to hear from you. Painting in a tux and painting in a hat. Second wedding in a row where I'm wearing a hat. And it's not because of a fashion statement. It's because it's chilly in here, right? Borderline. I could maybe get by without a hat, but borderline. So, and a red bow tie because this is, of course, New Year's Eve. So I think it's supposed to be kind of a festive atmosphere. And so I'm joining the festival celebrants with a red bow tie, just for fun. I actually did ask one of the wedding designers if she thought that was a good idea, and she seemed to think it was okay. So you have to be careful when you're working for people. I'm painting the room that's behind me. But as you can see, I'm not facing it, and I'll turn around for some of the details later on. But I'm not painting the angle. This is, unfortunately, this is one of those nights where I am not positioned in an optimal location in the room. So I'm having to work from a photograph instead of on plein air, shall we say. So not the ideal, but I do it this way a lot of times. So I have a picture here of the scene on my small phone. Let me zoom you in here a little bit so you can see a little bit better actually what I'm doing. And as you may know, if you follow me very often, I like starting with big splashes, and I like following up with more big splashes, honestly. But I rarely can do that because I don't have time. I need to let the first splash dry before I can apply a second one. Otherwise, if you apply a wet splash or a wet wash on top of a wet wash, they nullify each other. They turn into one wet wash. Does that make sense? So I don't want to do that. I want that first orange craziness that I did. I want it to retain some of its identity. Is that a good word? So I'm going to let that dry while I proceed to do some detail drawing. Okay? And there's a great big fireplace, and in here in a little while I'll turn you around and let you see what it is that I'm painting. Big stone fireplace. Like a person could easily walk into the fireplace, walk through it. It's open on both sides. About 15 feet tall here at the middle to give you a sense of scale. So it's certainly the focal point of the room. And of course I'm going to do the bride and groom, possibly there. So bride and groom and guests. Let's go ahead and do some guests standing and sitting about. A little bit of Canadian just came out there. Sitting about. Every once in a while it happens. Some of my Canadian roots comes out when I say about or house. Now, I think I'm going to continue to let that... Yes, I do indeed. Very much. I was going to say that would require taking your clothes off. A man stepped up and said, "I think you need a muse," and he stroked his chin. I'm glad I didn't say that. That would have been, but for you artists who are watching me, that can be our little joke. Very little joke. Okay, I'm going to let that again, let all this stuff continue to dry. Which means I only have a couple of options. Either I just take a break here, which is certainly an option. The guests are not here yet, by the way. Maybe a few of them are just starting to arrive. But anyway, the options are either take a break right here, or I can do some drawing in pencil. And of course, I'd rather continue to work and not waste time. So I'm going to draw for a while. Likewise, tables and chairs and guests over here, and a great big fireplace in the middle, with a barrel on it. And a plant. Yeah, barrel on both sides, okay. Little details like that. People tend to remember some of the major decor at their wedding reception. So I certainly want to reflect that fairly accurately. Candles and so forth up there. Okay, I'm just about at a place now where I am going to have to take a break. And so I'll take a break with you guys. It's a great big huge paddle fan up here in the ceiling. It's a really nice touch. Let me see if I can get that in here somehow. It's like